My name is Nicole Leopardo, Nicole Evelyn Leopardo. I'm a lecturer in race and resistance studies here at San Francisco State University. I've been here for about 3 years. I was born in Hollywood, California, and that was early 90s. I grew up there for about 4 years or so, and then we experienced a really large earthquake, which made our apartment building basically condemned. And so my parents got really afraid of living in California, so we ended up moving to Ohio, Cincinnati, Ohio. From there, we realized that the education system and that being an interracial couple didn't feel too comfortable for my parents, so they decided to move back to California, but this time San Francisco. So I've been living in the Bay Area since I was about 7 years old, and I grew up in San Mateo County. My mother is from Cincinnati, which is why we moved back there, so she's Black. She's Black American. Her parents come from Selma, Alabama. Country folks, farmers, type of people that would like strangle their chicken and kill it right before dinner. Country folks. And then my dad is from Stockholm, Sweden, far north Scandinavian country. Culturally, I am mixed. Ethnically, racially, I'm mixed. We celebrated both cultural traditions in my house. We had Swedish Christmas, and then we had American Christmas as well. Growing up in high school, I was confused about a lot of things. I had a lot of questions about like race and class and what it meant to be on one side of the train tracks, and what it meant to be up in the hills, what it meant to be in Ohio. A lot of questions came up for me. When I was younger, I used to spend every other summer with different grandparents. So one summer I would spend it in Ohio, and then the next summer I would spend it in Sweden. Cincinnati is it's predominantly Black, but it's really racially segregated. And now they're undergoing gentrification, so that's changing a little bit. But there's this like dichotomy between Black and white folks, and I remember growing up there and people being like, "What? You're like Black and white?" And they're like, "What?" Like it was so interesting to be mixed there, because in California I think it's different. I think there's more people that are mixed. I think people identify as such, but back there growing up, no. I remember driving down to Indiana and seeing KKK rallies, people in white hoods walking around, Confederate flags. I very clearly remember that as a kid. I felt a sense of terror that I can't explain. As a kid, that by the time you're 7 or something, or even 5, you're socialized to know what a normal couple looks like. And my parents did not look like a normal couple in Ohio. My dad is 6'7", white, and my mom is 5'1", Black. So as I started taking classes here at San Francisco State, I realized that it was an actual field that I could go into. And then I was like, well, I think this is what I want to do. Everything's been leading me here. And then the field is just so young and new. Critical mixed race studies. It was born in the 90s, and it didn't have an official title until 2014. So it's so new that I figured if I can contribute and help this grow, I would feel really, I think it would help a lot of people like me that were thinking about identity issues and things like that. It's such an interesting class. My first time teaching critical thinking was the semester that Donald Trump got elected. It was the first time I ever taught this class, and my first time really teaching my own courses. One girl said, "I thought I was poor because I deserved to be poor. But after taking your class, I learned that it's not because I'm deserving of bad things. It's because there are structures that are set up to keep me oppressed." And when I hear students situate themselves, in the literature and in the theories, that is so rewarding, because it took me a long time to realize that stuff. And if I can get, even if it's 5 students a semester, to really rethink and refocus their analysis on the system and not themselves, then I've done my job. That's so rewarding.